former presidential candidate Nikki Haley becoming the latest voice slamming former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Director of National Intelligence.
DNI, Department of National Intelligence. This is not a place for a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer. After Russia invaded Ukraine, Tulsi Gabbard literally blamed NATO. DNI has to analyze real threats. Are we comfortable with someone like that at the top of our national intelligence agencies?
Donald Trump's former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations slamming his pick for Director of National Intelligence, Nikki Haley, who, of course, took on Trump in the primary, but then ultimately endorsed him, criticized Tulsi Gabbard for meeting with Syria's Bashar al-Assad and argued that Gabbard repeated Russian talking points. Gabbard, a former Democrat, left the party in 2022, and she's since become a staunch supporter of Trump, serving on his transition team. If confirmed by the Senate, Gabbard would become the head of the nation's intelligence agencies. Her confirmation, though, might be an uphill battle.
If we bring in somebody like this, who smells to other intelligence agencies like someone who will compromise their sources and methods and be far too cozy with Russia and other adversaries, then they're going to hold back information that could be really critical to our success. This is a choice that actually puts Americans at risk because we won't have access to intelligence that could be critical to our safety. I think Republicans will likely begin to come around.
So this is one of those picks, Alex, that has, and Mike, you alluded to this, right? It's fallen kind of off out of the headlines in many ways because of the salacious things going on with other cabinet picks. But Tulsi Gabbard is someone who, and in fact, let me just play this. I talked to her back in 2019 about Bashar al-Assad, and I asked her if she thinks that he was an enemy of the United States. Here's what she said. Take a look. Do you think Assad is our enemy?
Assad is not the enemy of the United States because Syria does not pose a direct threat to the United States.
Now, of course, why that comment and framing is noteworthy, especially in this context, is because of the ties between Assad and the Russians and the realities of where we are now. Is there a world where there is a national security contingent in the Senate that starts to take this nomination more seriously?
Yes, because she is one of the biggest critics of the current, not just national security state, but sort of American foreign policy establishment that you've had in many, many decades, perhaps, ever. Like the only thing I can even think close to is, the 70s post-church committee stuff. And that's why you're going to see people like Mitch McConnell take a very, very close look at her record. But, for Trump's base, MAGA, the fact that she's getting criticized by Nikki Haley is a feature, not a bug. This is why people like Tucker Carlson and stuff have really gravitated towards Tulsi Gabbard because they see her as sort of a wrecking ball to what they see as a national security state off the rails.